Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We bring you back to Jackson for the series finale between the Union University Bulldogs and the Christian Brothers University Bucks. The Bulldogs look to avoid the sweep this afternoon after dropping both games of the doubleheader last night. We played one at 1 o'clock and another game at 4 o'clock last night. In Game 1, the Bulldogs fell 2-0, but the highlight of the game was the complete game gem thrown by Union ace Sam Poindexter. Back-to-back complete games that he has thrown for the Bulldogs. He went 9 innings, only giving up 2 runs on 3 hits, striking out 4 Bucks last night. Sisk had a clutch single in the bottom of the 9th. It looked like the Bulldogs were about to mount a comeback, but it was quickly snuffed out by a game-ending double play that Blake Barrett hit into to end the game. Sleeper received the win, Poindexter got the loss, and Cole got the save in the first game. Game 2 was a back-and-forth battle between the Bulldogs and the Bucks, and the Christian Brothers University ended up winning that game 11-9. There was some late game pitching that was unable to get the job done. Of course, Jack Rasmussen came in, hit a couple batters. The Bulldogs began to struggle more, and they were not able to secure the victory. The Dogs tied it in the fourth inning. They gave it up in the 5th. They came back in the bottom of the 5th inning, tied it once again before it truly slipped away from them in the 6th inning. Gibson got the W yesterday, going 2 innings, giving up 4 runs. Middleton got the loss for the Bulldogs, going 1 inning, giving up 2 runs. And Cole got the save. He got both saves in both the first game and the second game. But today is a new day here at Fesmeyer Field. The field is dried out. It's a beautiful 76 degrees here in Jackson. Not a single cloud in the sky today. Absolutely no wind. We see a couple gusts going out, possibly towards center field, about 4 to 5 miles per hour. But nothing should really affect the baseball today like it did yesterday. Fans come to the game in their Sunday best to see the battle of the freshman right-handers today. Charlie Faro takes the mound for the Bucks with a 4.56 ERA. We saw him playing shortstop yesterday, and we had to see him on the mound this afternoon. For the Bulldogs, we have Lane Evans with a 7.57 ERA. We got to see his older brother start the game yesterday for the Bulldogs, and we look forward to seeing the other half of the Evans duo kick this one off right here. That's going to be the first out of the game. Hit by Jarrett Fulks. Good grab there by Colby Davis. Of course, it's going to be a little bit different than the lineup we saw yesterday, as Fulks is retired for the first out of the game. So for the Bucks, it's a pretty similar lineup, different for the Bulldogs. So the starting lineup for the Christian Brothers University team is the center fielder batting first. Of course, we just saw Jarrett Fulks batting second. We have the pitcher Charlie Faro batting third, the first baseman Ben Brocato batting the cleanup today. We have the left fielder Clay Factau batting fifth, the right fielder Dalton Pizer batting sixth, the catcher Matthew McDaniel, who has caught all 3 games this weekend, batting seventh, the third baseman Seth Brown batting eighth, the second baseman Tate Gentleman, and batting ninth, the shortstop Will Gossett. And that's going to be the second out of the game. We got this game moving quickly already here this afternoon. For the Bulldog defense, we have Swanson out in left field. Davis, who started the second game in relief of Trey Frierson. Frierson once again having the day off today. Colby Davis out there in center field had a great game offensively yesterday. Carson Chavies, of course, back out in right field. The infield is what really is shaking up today. So Mitch Sisk moves to be the designated hitter. We saw him at third base yesterday. So Tanner Parmalee, who we saw enter the game as a pinch hitter and a defensive substitution in the second game last night, will be over at third base. Netterville at shortstop. We have Smith, Will Allen Smith at second base. We got to see Alec Hardy get the day off today, and Grant Ross at first base. We have the third starting catcher for the Bulldogs. We had Kenyon Pace start the first game, Ben Smith start the second, and Caden Cottrell starting today. Up to the plate, we have the first baseman, Ben Brocato. Brocato in yesterday's game was able to do a lot in that spot, of course, being a consistent leader in this Buccaneer lineup. He scored 3 times in the second game after being hit by a pitch, walked a couple times, and then he was intentionally walked in the 7th inning. Very similar story in the first one, as he walks again this afternoon. Bucks have their first runner on as we see the cleanup hitter Clay Facto come to the plate. Clay came into the game yesterday hitting .277 in his 28 games, has 101 at-bats, 28 runs scored on his 28 hits. Very impressive extra base hitter, having 4 doubles, 2 triples, and 2 home runs with 27 RBIs. The Bucks have used the exact same lineup. The only change is we see Will Gossett, of course, playing shortstop this afternoon instead of the pitcher Faro. Faro, who was the starting shortstop, is pitching today. And they are not utilizing the designated hitter role that we saw them use in Matthews yesterday. Shaq Matthews, of course, hitting in the 9-hole, and that is Gossett today. Bracado now moving over to third base on that hit.
New pitcher for Union, number 15, Riley Vaughn.
No batting to right field, number 10, Dalton Heiser.
In fact, getting the first hit for the Bucks on the day is the right fielder Pizer. So next hitter, he's going to take that one. It's going to get away from the catcher. Cottrell is tripping over at third base as Brocado. He actually slipped on that play. We saw them watering down the grass and the dirt before the game. Of course, the Union clay here at Fesmeyer Field. It'll be interesting to see if that has any effect. Of course, we had all the storms rolling on Friday night. The game was delayed until today. We were supposed to have a game on Friday night and 2 yesterday. We ended up having, of course, the 2 yesterday, and the Friday game was moved to today. The field is dried out while we were walking over here behind the dugouts, and by the parking lot, of course, the grass is dried out, and it's more crunchy today. But they have kept the field well watered, make sure that everything is moist and ready to go. We didn't see too many players slip like we expected to yesterday. Of course, only 1 or 2 on a couple of fly balls, but it really had no impact on the game, as one might expect. So Factown moves over on the wild pitch. Now we have 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs here in the first inning. So Lane Evans, the pitcher this year, of course, the freshman. His older brother Ryan was the starter in the second game yesterday, as that ball is hit to the second baseman, Will Allen Smith. Makes a throw over to first. Good dig by Grant Ross. They're going to say he's safe. So Ross had it in his glove, dropped it, picked it up with his bare hand. And apparently the umpire says that he did not get it in time. So 1 run is going to come home on that throw. Will Allen just getting that one a little bit too low in the dirt. So Brocado comes home to score. Factown now moves over to third, and they will probably credit that as a throwing error that Pizer reached on. That was definitely one of the difficulties in the game late last night. We had a very, very impressive stop out in shallow left field by the shortstop Netterville. He had an unbelievable diving grab, one of the best I've ever seen, and actually threw a bullet over to first base. I had no idea he was going to do it. I definitely thought he was going to eat it, threw it over to first, made a beautiful throw, and Grant Ross was just getting tripped up a little bit on his leg, dropped it, and 2 runs came around to score, and that actually was the deciding score in the game. So a little dribbler to third base. It's going to be Tanner Parmalee, throws it over to first, and that's going to get out of the inning. But the Bucks put 1 on the board on the throwing error by Will Allen Smith. We go to the bottom of the first. Bulldogs down by 1.
Are you looking for a Christian college or are starting the college search process? I want to take a second to tell you about my school, Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. Union is a private 4-year university known for its rigorous academics, Christ-centered community, and the success of its graduates. My favorite part about Union is the faculty. The professors here are so intentional about helping students grow not only academically, but also spiritually. You should check out Union for yourself. Come for a visit. I know you'll love it. At Union University, you'll be transformed.
We are back in the bottom of the first inning, and we are going to see the freshman right-handed pitcher Charlie Faro take the mound for the Bucks. Charlie, of course, was the starting shortstop in both games for Christian Brothers yesterday. He has a 4.56 ERA. He's got 2 wins, 2 losses. He started 5 games, appeared in 7, has recorded 25 2/3 innings pitched, 26 hits given up, 16 runs given up, 11 walks, and 16 strikeouts on the season. Very different lineup than we've seen relatively recently for the Bulldogs. Of course, yesterday they used the typical lineup, starting Netterville, putting Chavies in at starting in third, and then Swanson the cleanup spot 6th, Mitch Sisk in the 5th hole, and Ross in the 6th. But they really have switched it up today. So we see for the Bulldogs, their starting lineup currently at the plate, we have Colby Davis, the center fielder. So he is coming in relief for Trey Frierson, who started the first game yesterday. Mitch Sisk is actually the designated hitter today. They've got him resting from the field. Interesting to see if they will bring him in possibly as a relief pitcher. We know that he's got some experience on the mound I could see that happening. Batting third, we have the right fielder Carson Chavies. Batting fourth, we have Netterville, the shortstop. So Netterville, typically the leadoff hitter for the Bulldogs, has kind of found his groove, hopefully today, as Colby Davis goes down on strikes. Batting fifth, the left fielder Grayson Swanson. Batting sixth, the first baseman Grant Ross. Batting seventh, the catcher Caden Cottrell. Batting eighth, the third baseman Tanner Parmalee. And batting ninth, the second baseman Will Allen Smith. Sisk getting his first plate appearance in this game. Yesterday he was hitting in the 5-hole. In the second game he had a double and a single, came around to score in the third inning. Of course, struck out in the first. In the third inning had the double, came around to score. In the fifth inning he popped out to the first baseman. And in the sixth inning he had the single and was left stranded. In the first game of the doubleheader yesterday, Sisk had the incredible single in the ninth inning that we thought was going to get a rally going. That was the one that was eventually left him stranded on the game-ending double play that Blake Barrett hit into. So Sisk struck out in the second inning, grounded out in the fourth inning, flew out in the sixth inning, and of course had that single in the ninth inning that we were just talking about. Be interesting to see the difference in this lineup, moving guys like Swanson down a spot, Netterville into the cleanup spot, and I guess it helps for Mitch Sisk right there, who is the first runner for the Bulldogs in this game on the walk. Up to the plate next, you have Carson Chavies. Carson Chavies, the right fielder, sophomore, hit .250 yesterday. He went 1 for 4, playing in both games yesterday. Very solid outing. Being a switch hitter, he's decided to go more from the left. We've seen that traditionally from him in the last couple of games. He had a great second game at the plate, had a single in the first, was left stranded, had a walk in the third, and then was caught stealing. If you remember back to yesterday, he was very aggressive on the base path, tried to steal a couple. He actually had 4 stolen base attempts, ripped off 2 of them. In the fourth inning, he had the single, and then he flew out in the sixth inning. In the first game of yesterday's doubleheader, Carson got a single in the first inning, was caught stealing again, but then stole the base in the fourth inning after reaching on a single, grounded out in the sixth inning and the eighth inning for the Bulldogs. Chavies entered this weekend, 327 batting average, one of the team leaders. As he hits that one right down the first base line, it's going to go off of the glove of Brocado all the way back to the right corner. Running around third base is going to be Mitch Sisk. They're waving him home. Here comes the throw. It's in the infield. They're not even going to try for it, and it's going to be a stand-up triple for Carson Chavies. Another great extra base hit here for the Bulldogs, and this game is tied just as quickly as the Bucks took the lead in the first. The Bulldogs have erased it. We'll see if they call that an error. It really snuck right down the base path. They are going to give him the triple on it. Great call there by our statisticians here in the booth. Brocado almost had a glove on it. It really hugged first base and went all the way down to the right field pole. Well, with one out, the game is tied. Bulldogs have a runner on third base. Another opportunity for a run. Netterville is going to be switch hitting. He's going to settle in to the left side of the plate. Interesting bunt attempt, hoping to bring Chavies home. Chavies, of course, having quite a bit of speed. We already talked about him stealing the 2 bases in yesterday's doubleheader. Coach McGee coming out to give Carson his signs. We'll see if Netterville does it again. Try to bring forward the third baseman Brown. He's going to be swinging. It's popped up right behind the plate. Fans are not going to be able to get it as it bounces back up here towards the press booth. Bulldogs really utilized the bunt yesterday. We saw Cottrell actually get the triple off of the bunt, as well as Colby Davis reached on the errors after a bunt. Back-to-back hits. Netterville's going to let that one slip outside. In yesterday's game, Netterville went 3 for 7. Very impressive day in the leadoff hole. That's probably one of the decisions that Coach Casey made to move him to cleanup today. And That one's going to be popped out towards right field. Hopefully it's going to be shallow enough. Still charging in is Pizer. He's underneath it. No, it's going to be second baseman, but he dropped it. And that's going to be a throw home to the plate. They're going to say he's safe at home. Great running there by Carson Chavies. A really weird series of events there. Gentleman, the second baseman, had it. It looked like he was going to make the throw, and as soon as he had it, it fell onto the ground. They called Netterville safe, and Chavies came home to score. Chavies, of course, delaying his opportunity to run home, thinking that it was going to be a tag-up situation, but as soon as that ball hit the grass, Chavies didn't take off running until it hit the glove of the second baseman. Then he ran home, and Netterville is now standing on second base, reaching on the air. Really weird situation there. It looked like he totally had the ball, and then it fell out, so I'm surprised that the umpire did actually call that a fair play there, but the Bulldogs will take it as they see their top dog, Grayson Swanson, come up to the plate. He's going to take the first one in there for a called strike. Swanson in yesterday's games went 2 for 7. Had the big double, of course, the RBI double. Hit 286 yesterday. In the second game, he was hitting cleanup, had a single in the 6th inning, but was left stranded. Hit the sacrifice fly early in the game as he jumps out of that one, shows bunt once again to move it over. Something we saw the Bulldogs do time and time again against the pitcher Gibson yesterday for the Bucks was show bunt, and they continually kept throwing ball after ball after ball and couldn't find anything in the strike zone, so there must be something mental about showing bunt. Kind of gets in the head of these Buccaneer pitchers. They're going to try the same thing today. Swanson shows bunt, and they are going to call that a strike even though he pulled back. It looked a little bit tight. Of course, the coaches in the Bulldog in the Bulldog dugout, not a big fan of that one. Really interesting there. And here's Swanson with the pitch. Right down the third baseline, snuck out towards left field, of course. Out in center field, we see Folks and Pizer going to have an issue with the sun, which is directly above us. Not a single cloud in the sky. Very beautiful day here in Jackson, but that could affect some of the fly balls. That might be a possible situation. Why Gentleman dropped that? He might have lost it in the sun, even though it did hit his glove. But that's the impacts of nature here on the great game of baseball. Far out from the stretch runner going. There's going to be a play at third base, and they're going to say he is out by a mile. A strikeout, throw him out, double play. So that's going to do it for the Bulldogs, but not before they put on 2 runs. Sisk came around to score, so did Chavies on their weird error by Netterville, and of course the triple by Chavies. Bulldogs got the lead. We go to the second inning here in Jackson. Pick it back up with the Buck third baseman. It's going to be Seth Brown. Seth Brown having a .212 average, 66 at-bats, 14 hits, 10 runs scored, 4 doubles, and 5 RBIs. Had a couple great defensive plays over there at the corner yesterday in the doubleheader. The Bucks using the exact same lineup, of course. Brown hitting in the 7-hole again. In the second game, he walked in the first inning, was left stranded before flying out in the third. Came around to score after being hit by a pitch in the 5th inning, and then struck out in the 6th of the second game. Earlier in the afternoon, he flew out to the first baseman in the 2nd inning, struck out in the 4th, grounded out in the 6th, and then was walked in the 9th, but eventually was caught stealing by Ben Smith, the catcher who came in relief of Canyon Pace. Already early in this game, Bulldogs have a couple guys warming up. Actually, 2 guys doing some stretches out in the left field bullpen for the Dogs. The next pitch there by Lane Evans is going to be just outside to take the count full in this one. Evans has gone 11 pitches so far, giving up, of course, the 1 hit in the 1 run in the first inning. That's going to be hit to the second baseman. Will Allen Smith isn't going to be able to get to it. It's going to get right underneath his glove. They're going to credit that one as a single, and the leadoff has a hit. Will Allen Smith, the freshman locally born and raised here in Jackson. In one of his first games in the starting position, coach is coming to give their infield a couple decisions. They're moving Chavies out in right field over. Interesting to see that happen against somebody that's on the right side of the plate. Of course, Tate Gentleman has been the 8-hole all the games, but they're moving Chavies pretty shallow out there in right field. Moved him over probably 10, 15 feet in case Gentleman tries to pop a little opposite hit out there. That is the decision making by the coaches, outfield coaches, coordinating their guys on each play. Will Allen Smith, the second baseman, playing pretty close to the bag in case a possible steal attempt is made by Brown. Haven't gotten to see Cottrell behind the plate too many times this season. Of course, Kenyon Pace and Ben Smith taking the majority of the game so far. It's good to see Cottrell back there. But we'll see how long it takes before they try to test his arm. Of course, they know not to mess with Ben Smith. Kenyon had a good throwdown yesterday, but Smith picked off a couple in the doubleheaders yesterday. Here's the pitch by Lane. It's going to be in. Almost hits him. Stepping barely out there is Gentleman entering the game with a 286 average. Got his first hit last weekend in their games. Made his collegiate debut. That's going to be a called strike there in on him. Girls softball got the sweep of the doubleheader yesterday. They're working on it once again today. Of course, they are up 6-5 right now in the bottom of the fourth inning. They had the walk-off in the second game yesterday. Very exciting moment back there. We got to see all the softball fans and press people behind us yesterday going crazy towards the end of that game. We were really hoping the Bulldogs were going to be able to do the same thing, and they fell just short in the baseball doubleheader. It's going to be a walk issued there to Gentleman. Brown makes his way to second base. Gentleman now, of course, at first on the walk.
Batting down number 6, Caroline Ross.
So batting the shortstop number 2, Will Gospel.
It's the first time we've gotten to see Will Gossett from Memphis, Tennessee, freshman infielder. He's taken over at shortstop today for Faro, who played yesterday. Gossett so far this season has a 147 average. Looks to extend that there with the bunt attempt. Good dig there by Will Allen Smith, the second baseman, coming over to cover. Grant Ross wasn't sure if he was going to be the one that gets it or if Evans was. And Will Allen took that, got the easy out, but Gossett got the job done. Moved his runners over. Gentleman now at second base. Brown over at third. Smith returns to second, of course, playing closely on the infield grass, trying to protect anything at the plate. Brown at third with a generous lead. Tanner Parley, the third baseman, playing 2, 3, 4 feet in on the grass, charging in on each one. Folks, the leadoff hitter, looking to regain the lead here with one swing of the bat. He enters the game with a 2.54 batting average. 29 hits, 27 runs, 5 doubles, a triple, 18 RBIs, looking to extend that to 19 or 20 right now. Game 2 yesterday, folks came around to score twice. Had a walk in the first inning, a single in the second. Stole a base both times, was busted for stealing. In the fourth inning, Ben Smith caught him stealing after his single in the fourth. Flew out in the fifth inning and had the sacrifice bunt in the seventh. Bulldog infield ready for another possible sacrifice bunt here. Delivery from Evans, going to get in the dirt. Cottrell drop into one knee to grab that one. Lane's brother Ryan was the starting pitcher yesterday. He went 1 1/3 innings in the second game of the doubleheader. He threw 48 pitches, the most of any pitcher in the second game. for both teams. Gave up 3 hits, 6 runs, walked 3 in the 12 batters that he faced before being replaced by Billy Beckham. Bulldogs now have 2 or 3 guys now warming up out in the left field bullpen. More and more fans suddenly into the game. A couple umbrellas out here to protect from the heat of the sun. Good to see quite a few Union students here. Great attendance yesterday, the most I've ever seen at the Fez. Very exciting afternoon here. There was lots of close games, battles, and the students were very excited to be here. The Sunday afternoon game doesn't bring quite as few people, but there's still a good amount here today at the park.
Now batting the pitcher, number 24, Charlie Farrow.
Bases are now juiced for Charlie Farrow, excuse me. The freshman came into this game batting .349. In the first inning, he grounded out to Tanner Parmalee. Lane Evans trying to keep everything in the dirt. He does that again. Cottrell setting up very low and outside, trying to force a ground ball to either Will Allen Smith or Grant Ross over there on the right side of the field. That one's going to be high. It's going to get away from Cottrell. He's going to have a play at the plate. He's going to throw it over. They're going to tag him. They're going to say he's safe. That was really close play there. Lane Evans made a great tag on Brown, but they're going to say he slid underneath it. Very difficult situation for the Bulldogs. The force out is now removed. The roll him up double play is no longer an option to get out of the inning, and the Bucks tie the game on a wild pitch. Never how you want that to happen. Brown comes in to score. We're going to have a quick meeting at the mound, and we'll be right back with you in a couple brief seconds. So Coach Casey heads back to the dugout. He looks out towards the bullpen, but they decide not to use it here in the second inning. That is the first charged meeting of the game. Farrow yesterday grounded out in the first inning, flew out in the second. In the fourth inning, he popped out, had a single in the sixth, came around to score. It is hit to Parmalee. Parmalee's going to look over to first, and it's going to be a 5-3 putout. But, of course, the tough situation with that one is the fact that the run came home to score. Could have been a roll-em-up double play, but the Bulldogs will take the out after surrendering the run on the wild pitch. Great play there by Tanner Parmalee. Good to see him back in the game. He entered yesterday in relief as we saw Netterville take the mound late into the second game of the doubleheader. So as Netterville went there, Parmalee entered the game, played a little bit of shortstop, and he's moved over to third base. Mitch Sisk, of course, in the DH role this afternoon. That's going to be hit up the middle. Will Allen Smith, the second baseman, is going to not be able to get it. It's going to go out to our center field. Colby Davis is going to grab it. One run's going to score. Here comes the second, and it's going to be a 2-run single for Brocado. Gentleman comes home on that one. Will Allen almost had a grab on it. That's the difference in defense possibly between him and Alec Hardy. We've seen quite a few guys on the Bulldog team play second base this season. We've seen Snelson start there. We've seen Mitch Sisk there once or twice. Of course, the consistent Alec Hardy and Will Allen Smith getting the job today. So folks and gentlemen both scoring on that. They're going to credit that one as a single up the middle. Of course, the advancement on the throw. Brocado getting the single. Brings up the designated hitter, Factow. Had a single in the first one. First inning, he singled, was left stranded at third base. Two-out rally here for the Bucks gives them a 4-2 lead. Pop directly back, not going to be anywhere near Cottrell. Ball's going over the top. One of the things we see consistently during these multi-sport days, of course, softball playing behind us this afternoon. currently up 6-5 in the top of the 5th inning. Foul balls going between the field. Big swing and a miss there by Factal. One of the softballs came over the press booth, hit a fan earlier, and she moved seats, but something always to keep a heads up for, being a regular attender at Fesmeyer Field. Lane Evans from the stretch for the strike. Not going to get there. Evans in his first season, following his brother to Union after graduating from Dyer County High School, played all 4 years of baseball there. While he was there, he named the District All-Academic Team Honors Tennessee Baseball Report All-Region, Tennessee Baseball Report All-State 2A Team, and he is going to strike out Factal to end the inning. Bucks put up 3, Brown, Gentleman, and Folks came around to score. Bulldogs look to tie it right back up and take the lead, just like they did in the bottom of the first. We go to the bottom of the second here in Jackson.
We realize you have a busy lifestyle, and at the Bank of Jackson, we're here to help you fulfill all of your financial needs, personal and business loans, mortgages, online banking and bill pay, and so much more. Serving the Jackson area for 25 years. The Bank of Jackson, your down-home community bank. You belong here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
One of the 2 freshmen in today's lineup, the left-handed hitter Grant Ross, has played all 3 games of this series so far, had an unbelievable defensive day yesterday. He's going to pop that one out towards left field. Running in is the left fielder Factal. He makes the catch, and 1 pitch, Ross is retired. Good to see Caden Cottrell enter this game yesterday. Caden came in as a pinch hitter. Went 2 for 5 in the games yesterday. Actually scored 2 runs. Had the huge 222 RBIs. Had 4 total bases and hit 400 in the doubleheader yesterday. I wonder if that is one of the big deciding factors in allowing him to be the starting catcher today. Saw Canyon Pace in the first one before Ben Smith in the second. Cottrell was really dirty behind the plate yesterday and at the plate. Cottrell hit the triple in the second game, as he was the DH. Actually came in as a pinch hitter in the first game, DH the second. That's going to be hit to the shortstop. Gossett going to make the throw, not going to be there in time. Cottrell outran it. It's going to be a single here in the bottom of the second inning. Caden with quite a bit of speed. Gossett, the relief shortstop, was not able to launch it over in time. 2-hopped it. Ricardo made a good grab, but not in time. The Bulldogs have their first runner. Once again, is Tanner Parmalee will be our next batter. T-Parm went 0 for 1 yesterday. Came into the second game, getting his first start of the series today. Parmalee on the season is hitting .462 before the games yesterday. He was 6 for 13. Really clutch as a pinch hitter. Seen him be utilized many times throughout the season for the Bulldogs. 5'9", 185-pound junior out of Selmer, Tennessee. McNary Central High School, played all 4 years of baseball, and that's going to hit him in on the hand, knocks him to the ground. Coach is going to come out and make sure that Tanner's okay. It looked like he got his left wrist. He's going to shake it off. They're going to look at it for a second. I wonder if they're asking if it actually went off of the bat. They could rule it a foul ball. Umpire's going to have a conversation with Tanner Parmalee. The catcher, McDaniel, taking his mask off here for a second. Hope Tanner's going to be okay. Doesn't look like he's in a terrible amount of pain. He might be talking with the umpire about if it possibly hit the bat. He's going to take the batting glove off, look at the wrist. Stretching it out. Not really sure totally what the conversation is here. Thanks to our cameraman for getting that close-up shot. And the umpires are going to come together, have a conversation. The thing about getting up in on the hands is always whether it hit the bat or whether it hit the hand. Whatever it does hit first, because if it does hit the bat, well, then you just got a sore wrist and a foul ball. So they're going to meet about it, have a conversation. Not sure what there really is to talk about. We're going to go off of where it hit Tanner. And they are going to say it is a foul ball. Really unfortunate situation there. Tanner is going to finish the rest of his at-bat. Hopefully those few moments were able to get rid of a lot of those butterflies there. But the adrenaline maybe might help Tanner here at the plate. Difficult situation when you get hurt and don't even get a free base for it. Parmley's going to reach out for that one. They're going to appeal. They're going to say he did not go. First base umpire over there. Cottrell still the runner. 1-2 count here to Parmley. Parmley, an active member here at Union. Studying biochemistry, wants to become a surgeon, and swings through that one. So what Parmley was hoping would be a hit by pitch turns into a strikeout, and the Bulldogs have 2 outs. Will Allen Smith, getting his first at bat this weekend.
Now with the plate, the second baseman, number 7, Will Allen Smith.
Allen Smith hitting 182. He's played in 6 games. This is his 4th start of the season. Has had 11 at-bats, 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 home runs, actually. Impressive bat here from the local graduate of Trinity Christian. 5'9", 170-pound freshman. Played all 4 years of baseball. Member of the NHS Honor Society. Five hits on the season, including those 2 long balls that we were just talking about. Takes that one upstairs. Well, just getting a piece of that one, really throwing the bat at it. Was able to get a little tiny nick of that one. Charlie Farrar, the pitcher out of Flossmoor, Illinois, freshman infielder. So far this season, he has actually pitched in quite a few games. He's started 5 of them, appeared in 7 of them. A .317 batting average. That's why they decided to not take him out of the lineup. Doing something that they do, the Bulldogs typically do with a guy like Mitch Sisk. Let him pitch, let him hit, let him have a well-rounded day. Once he's done on the mound, we'll see if he goes back to his regular position at shortstop or if they will have him exit the game for the day. Will Al hitting that one over first base dugout. Well, I'll get another piece of that one, just slowly behind it, underneath it, popped it back. Really looked like he about had that one squared up as he continues to battle and fight. That one's going to get just in the dirt there, Caden Cottrell. Good dig behind the plate. Will stays alive, takes the count full. Fouling off pitches he doesn't like before he gets the one he does. Infield back, Gentleman and Gossett playing on the grass, runner going, and that's going to hit out towards left field, dropping back is Factow. Is he underneath it? He is, and he's going to haul it in for the 3rd out of the inning. We go to the top of the 3rd. Good attempt there by Will Al. Coach Casey looks happy with it.
Championship DNA. That's what you find at Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way. A full line of new Chevrolets plus West Tennessee's largest used car inventory. State-of-the-art service work and pre-approved auto loans online at JonesChevroletHumboldt.com. Shop with a winner. Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way.
Now batting the right fielder, number 10, Dalton Pizer.
Dalton Pizer, one of the core hitters of this Buck lineup. Hitting .327 on the season. He's played in 28 games, started all of them out in the outfield. Scored 15 runs on 33 hits, has 7 doubles, 5 home runs, 2 triples, 33 RBIs. Lead the team in extra base hits and home runs. Has a slugging percentage of .584. It's a great eye at the plate. We got to see that yesterday with his 13 walks on the season. Here's the next pitch from Evans. It's going to be launched out towards right field. Chavis is going to drop back towards the track. Chasing off of the wall. Piser's going to round first. He's heading to second. He's going to hold up there, and he has a stand-up double on the third pitch he sees.
Batting down number 12, Zoe Neal.
Chavy's able to read that well off the wall in right field to hold Pizer only to 2 bags, and he continues to hit with his Pizer. That was his 8th double of the season, only behind Charlie Farah, who has 11. Next up, the catcher McDaniel. McDaniel in the first inning ended the inning with a ground out to third base. Yesterday he flew out to shortstop and left field, and he's going to hit a little blooper out towards right field. That's going to get through the hole. He didn't even take off about 4 feet into his run. Really weird situation there. I don't know what McDaniel was doing when it comes to base running. He waited until it dribbled out towards right field before he even left the batter box. Wondering if that's a foul ball as Cottrell looks over towards the dugout. Interesting to see McDaniel wait so long before running to first base. Really weird situation. Cottrell still looking over toward the dugout. Pizer moves over to third. McDaniel now at first on the single. We see Brown, the third baseman, get his second plate appearance of the game. He had a single to lead off the second inning, came around to score. He scored on that wild pitch. And with no outs, we have a first and third situation. I think that's more what Cottrell was worried about. He comes out to see what the play call is going to be in the situation of McDaniel's trying to steal second. Typically the Bulldogs will either hold on to the ball or throw it down. Not worrying as much about the guy at third, who's Pizer. Really, really big situation here if you're Lane Evans. Trying to get something on the ground. See if they go home with it. Infield playing really middle of the grass, and that's going to be another hit. It's going to be a one-hopper to left fielder. Swanson's going to grab it, and a single RBI by Brown is going to bring in another run, the 5th of the game, as 3 straight hits get this inning started. So Pizer comes home to score. McDaniel now out at second base, moves over on that one. Brown with the single, and we are going to have our first pitching change of the game. We'll be right back with you after the change. As we predicted at the beginning of the game, we're going to have our first pitching change, seeing Mitch Sisk, who was in the DH role, enter the game on the mound. Mitch Sisk comes into this game with a 9.72 ERA. He's 0-4 on the season, and he's started 4 games. He's not the pitcher of record currently. That will still be Lane Evans unless the Bulldogs retake the lead. He's appeared in 7 games. He's thrown 16 2/3 innings this year, giving up 26 hits, 20 runs, 6 walks. And he's going to throw back to second base, trying to get McDaniel off of the base. He's given 6 walks, struck out 13, 7 doubles, 1 triple, and has faced 81 batters in the season. So Lane Evans completed 2 innings of work, 44 pitches, 6 hits, given up 5 runs were scored, 3 walks, struck out 1, and faced 16 batters today. Sisk, one of those guys that we know can go quite a few innings. He has a history of being a starter. Of course, being a starter at Jackson State Community College, where he played for 2 years before transferring into Union. He's going to see that bunt, and a wild pitch is going to get away from Cottrell, moving both runners over. McDaniel goes to third, Brown now at second. Sisk played both games yesterday over at third base. They wanted to make sure that his bat stayed in the lineup, so it looks like they're going to probably remove the designated hitter now from the game. That role will be eliminated. We'll use a series of pinch hitters for the rest of it. Showing bunt, pulling back at the last possible second there is Tate Gentleman. Gentleman, the second baseman, walked in the second inning, came around to score. Infielders playing very jittery here, especially Netterville and Parmalee on the left side, charging home. He's attempting to do a sac bunt, move in the runners. Grant Ross over at first, making sure he's close enough to the bag still. That'll alert Will Allen on what he's going to do. No bunt attempt there. Good dig by Caden Cottrell behind the plate. Sisk had a great warm-up, showed a lot of his off-speed curveball. We'll see if he can continue that here in the game, just trusting his defense. Bulldogs really trying to keep the walks and hit batters under control. They've done better this series so far. Of course, we did have the 2 hit by pitch that led to a few runs yesterday. That's going to be hit out towards left field, right over the head of Netterville. Swanson's going to grab it. 1 run's going to score. Holding up at third will be Brown, but a single scores another run. That's going to be 4 straight hits here for the Bucks in the 3rd inning. They've scored 2 now. Pizer scored first, McDaniel scored second. So we had a double by Pizer, the single by McDaniel, the single to plate Pizer by Brown, and now a single by Gentleman. So Brown is now over at third. Cottrell's going to come out, tell his infielders what the plan is in the situation of Gentleman trying to steal. Will Gossett, the freshman, filling in for Faro, will get a plate appearance here, hitting 147 on the season. He dropped a sac bunt in the 2nd inning to score 1. Actually, to move his runners over. Got the job done. It did work, as 3 were eventually scored that inning. Gossett with 5 hits on the season, 6 runs, 1 double, 1 RBI. 176 slugging percentage. He's got 2 runners on. Great off speed there. Running in is going to be Davis in center field. He's going to make the grab. No play is going to be at the plate. They don't want to challenge it. It's going to be the first out of the inning on the fly ball. No run is going to score. Interesting to see Brown not attempting to tag up. Playing still pretty conservative, even though they have a 4-run lead. We're back to the top of the lineup for the 3rd time. So Fulks is now hit in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd inning of this game. He will be the 6th hitter for the Bucks this inning. The 1st inning he flew out to center field. The 2nd he walked, came around to score. Big swing and a miss there by Fulks. Tried to put that one over the left field wall and swung right through it. Ross holding Gentleman tightly at first base. So he's ready still for that first and third situation. That's going to be hit out towards right center. Collapsing are Davis and Chavies. Chavies is going to be the one that calls it off, takes it. One run's going to score on the sacrifice fly. No advancement will be Gentleman, but Brown does come in, and it will be an RBI for Folks. Two outs. Infield's going to reset here, no longer having the threat over at third base. Bucks put up 1 in the first, 3 in the second, and now 3 here in the third. Delivery from Sisk, up and in. Do believe that the runs will be credited to Evans. Yes, they will. All 7 runs now credited to Evans. Gentleman is the one that Sisk put up, and it's going to pop up. Over on the right side, Ross, Will Allen Smith, the second baseman. They're going to let it fall. Smith unable to track it down. Gentleman's going to make his way to third as the Bulldogs just let that one fall in a miscommunication, possibly losing it in the sun. Ross dropped back. Of course, Chavies does have the privilege. If he wants it, he has the precedent out there in right field. He didn't call it. Smith didn't call it. Ross didn't call it. Smith was closest to it, but it fell in for, they're going to say it's a single. Of course, Gentleman making his way over to third, knowing that it would have been the third out, so all the runners were going, and we have Brocado, who's already reached and scored in this game. He reached in the first off of a walk, singled in the second, was left stranded then, but did come around to score in the first inning on the error where Pizer reached. Brocado, the 8th batter this inning. Sisk coming set from the stretch. Hitterville and Will Al dropping back. Smith, the second baseman. And Cottrell's going to come out, call a new first and third. Possibly switch it up here, trying to get the third out of the inning. A lot more likely to have a throwdown at second base. Will Allen Smith will be the middle infielder that would cover that. There's another softball that's going towards the fans. Everybody ducking for shelter. First base runner Faro faked a run on that one. Christian Brothers coming into this game 13-19. Bulldogs 9-19. Christian Brothers have really struggled in the conference. They were only 2-13, of course, picking up 2 more yesterday. Bulldogs and the Bucks both in the Gulf South Conference. Bulldogs are 5-12 in conference action so far this season.
Batting now number 6, Caroline Ross.
Here goes Sisk. It's going to be a great little off speed there. Trying to shake it up with some curve. Sisk moving quickly. Slams the glove. Bulldogs just frustrated trying to get out of these long innings. Yesterday's game has moved pretty quickly. The first game went a full 9 innings in about 2 hours and 18 minutes. Only 2 runs were scored. Poindexter had an unbelievably quick game. Only 3 pitchers were used in total from both teams. Sisk looking to get out of a jam here. Full count to Brocado. Brocado, the leading hitter on this team, hitting .386. And it's going to be a walk right upstairs. Good pitch there, but great and better discipline by Brocado. Well, we've been through the whole lineup now. Factow is the only guy who has not hit this inning. The bases are loaded for him. This is really the opportunity for the Bulldogs to just let him slam the door or extend their lead. Big situation here. Got Rocado on first, Faro on second, Gentleman on third. Factow to the plate. Factow in the first inning singled, was left stranded at third base. He struck out in the second inning. Kind of feels like everybody gets to hit every inning so far for the Bucks. Factow in the cleanup spot yesterday. Was hit by a pitch in the first inning, stole a base, came around to score, was left stranded on his double in the second. Had a triple in the fifth inning. Always and ever present threat to the Bulldog defense. That's going to be popped up. On the right side, exactly where the last play was. Calling it off is going to be Chavies, and he's going to haul it in, and they're going to leave the bases loaded. The Bulldogs get out of a jam. Buccaneers had a possibility to break this game open, but we're still within 5. Bucks up by 5. It's 7-2 here in Jackson. We'll be right back with you in the bottom of the third.
The most important benefit when you buy from Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way, peace of mind. Jones Chevrolet's warranty forever comes with every qualifying new and pre-owned vehicle. Powertrain coverage for as long as you own your vehicle. Find out more at Jones Chevrolet in Three-Way.
Back to the top of the starting lineup for the Bulldogs and Colby Davis. Colby Davis struck out in the first inning before Sisk and Chavies were able to get things started. Faro now out for his third inning of work. He's only had to throw 38 pitches so far, gave up the 2 hits and the 2 runs in the first inning. Of course, the big triple did Chavies. And Davis going to slap that one to the third baseman. Brown's going to make a quick field, quick play. Brown was exactly where he needed to be to prepare for that one. It's going to be a 5-3 put out by the third baseman, and Davis goes down on 1 pitch, 1 out. It's time for Mitch Sisk. He's now the pitcher in this game. He walked, came around to score on Chavies' triples in the first inning. Trying to continue what he was doing, and that's going to be up in the hands. That hit him up tight. Always a worry when you have a pitcher doing other things in the game, trying to avoid injury. We saw Tanner Parmalee take that one off the wrist, but they call it a foul ball. That was essentially the same pitch there to Mitch Sisk as he takes the next one in for a called strike 2. One thing that was really unique there with the play with Colby Davis is how shallow Brown was playing at third base. He was basically in on the infield grass, charging in on that one. He was ready for a line drive, but now against Mitch Sisk, he takes about 6 feet back, is playing a lot deeper here against the Bulldog pitcher. Sisk yesterday had the strikeout, double, came around to score in the single in the 6th inning in the second game. And then in the first game of the doubleheader yesterday, Sisk struck out, grounded out, flew out, and had a single as he grounds out to the second baseman and bobbled over there at first base. There's a collision between the first baseman, Brocado, and Sisk. They're going to say that Sisk is going to be safe. Lots of chaos unfolding there. Great throw by Gentleman, but very routine ball dropped by the first baseman. Brocado allows Sisk to sneak in, reach on the air, and the Bulldogs finally have another base runner. Glad to see that Sisk is okay after making a collision there with the first baseman. Brocado did attempt to tag him, of course, making sure, but the umpire said, no, let's just reset, give everybody back to their positions, and Sisk is on base. Chavies is going to take the first one to his back, baby cow. His calf got nailed on that one as a free trip to first base, and the Bulldogs have their first runner in scoring position since the first inning. Bulldogs in the heart of their lineup with Netterville, Swanson, and Ross. Next up, Coach Casey's going to come out and make sure that Chavies is okay. He's going to take a break. Yep, they're going to make sure he can run okay. He made his way to first. Everything looked good. See Alex Aiden, the athletic trainer, make his way out to first. Coach Casey going to check on that leg, make sure that Chavies is okay. Definitely a guy that they need in this lineup. Very valuable member of both the offense and the defense. Consistently rooted right fielder. Make sure everything is okay after the hit by pitch. Same precautions they took with Tanner Parmalee last inning. looked more like he got his calf, but it might be his ankle that they're looking at. Trying to see here on our screen. While they do that, we'll check in with the softball game. Christian Brothers has just taken the lead in the top of the 7th inning. They're in the middle of the inning as the Bulldogs look to come back and walk it off. They did it yesterday. They end up winning that game 6-5. Bulldogs down by 1 now. The Lady Bucks scored 2 in the top of the 7th, took the lead from the Bulldogs, and now we go to the bottom of the inning over there. They've given Chavies the all clear. He looks okay, and we're going to see Britt Netterville hitting as a lefty. Netterville we've seen switch over to the left side more and more frequently. So 1 out, 2 runners on. It's going to be right in on the chest. Tweety Bird there, here up in the press booth. From the stretch as Faro looks back, checks Sisk at second. Bulldogs really needing to capitalize on their 2 free runners that they've had. Typically they're in the inverse situation, giving up free runners, but it's really been a story of hits today for the Buccaneers. They have 7 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors. Bulldogs 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error. Netterville really wanting a piece of that one. Took a check swing, isn't going to commit to it, but it is a called strike down the middle. Really trying to be picky about which one he's going to choose. Bulldogs have a long way to go left in this game. That's going to be hit to the second baseman. Grabbing his gentleman, he's going to get 1, over to 2, and it's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. Bulldogs unable to capitalize on their 2 free runners, still down by 5. To the 4th we go here in Jackson.
Are you looking for a Christian college or are starting the college search process? I want to take a second to tell you about my school, Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. Union is a private 4-year university known for its rigorous academics, Christ-centered community, and the success of its graduates. My favorite part about Union is the faculty. The professors here are so intentional about helping students grow not only academically, but also spiritually. You should check out Union for yourself. Come for a visit. I know you'll love it. At Union University, you'll be transformed.
Now batting the right fielder, number 10, Dalton Pizer.
Dalton Pizer once again starting off the top of the 4th inning. He started off the top of the 3rd inning. A little recap of that inning. Pizer led that off with a double, came around to score before McDaniel had a single, came around to score. Brown had a single, came around to score. That's going to be a fly ball out towards left field. Calling it off is Netterville. I'm not sure who got that, but it is an out. Somebody's got it. We got Swanson and Netterville both laying on the ground, taking in the sunshine, maybe doing a little snow angels out there in the grass on this hot day. But they're going to say that Netterville was the one that hauled that one in. Swanson tripping over him. A little bit of crazy action out there in left field, but at least the Bulldogs got the out. So McDaniel had the single, came around to score. Brown got a single, came around to score. Gentleman with a single, 4 straight hits. And then Gossett flew out. Sac fly by Folk, single by Faro, and a walk by Brocato as everyone hit in the 3rd inning. Sisk now the pitcher with no one on base. Different situation than he entered the game with. Sisk always doing a lot better when he is able to get things done himself, not have to inherit runners from previous pitchers. But we are looking forward to seeing what Sisk can do. Parmalee playing close at 3rd, and a big swing and a whiff there by Matthew McDaniel. McDaniel grounded out in the 1st inning with the single and scored in the 3rd. Lady Bulldogs have just tied the game up behind us. In the bottom of the 7th, they look to walk it off once again. Sisk says that one was his fault. Cottrell grabbed it in the dirt. Here's a delivery. Big swing and a whiff. He got him, and down on strikes goes McDaniel. He swung through that one as the Bulldogs take it around the horn. Great pitch there by Mitch Sisk. Wonderful placement. And the 2nd out of the inning as we see the 3rd baseman, Brown, who has had back-to-back singles in this game so far, get his 3rd plate appearance of the game. He singled in the 2nd, came around to score, singled in the 3rd, came around to score, and Sisk is looking to face him for the first time in this game, throwing that one just a little bit outside. right behind us. Haley Sipes just grounded out. So for the softball game, and they're going to extra innings. Tied 7-7. Right down the middle of the pipe. Great placement by Sisk, really getting his control dialed in this one. Sisk continuing to keep things moving pretty quickly. He's pitching from the stretch. Well, actually, that one was more of a modified windup. Somewhere between a stretch and a windup on that one. Yesterday, Brown in the second game walked once in the first inning, flew out in the third, was hit by a pitch, came around to score in the fifth, and struck out in the sixth inning. In the first game yesterday, popped out in the third, struck out in the fourth inning, and he's going to take that one for a called strike. Thought he had a free walk, and it's going to take the count full with 2 outs. In the first game, of course, he grounded out in the sixth inning, walked in the ninth, and then was caught stealing by the Bulldog catcher, Ben Smith. Here's the money pitch, 2 outs, and it's going to be a walk issued to Brown.
Batting now, number 22, Ira Cooley.
Gentleman will be the batter. Had the single last inning, was left stranded at third base. Gentleman was the first batter we saw Mitch Sisk face last inning. He walked in the second inning, came around to score. Sisk at 29 pitches already. Still a couple guys warming up, stretching out. Can't tell who that is from here. That's going to be hit out towards left field. Running over is Swanson. He's back at the track. 1, 2, 3. Hauls it in for the third out of the inning. And that's going to be no runs, no hits, no errors. Finally, a clean inning here for the Bulldogs in the fourth inning. We go to the bottom of the inning. Bulldogs down by 5. They're not out of it yet.
Are you looking for a Christian college or are starting the college search process? I want to take a second to tell you about my school, Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. Union is a private 4-year university known for its rigorous academics, Christ-centered community, and the success of its graduates. My favorite part about Union is the faculty. The professors here are so intentional about helping students grow not only academically, but also spiritually. You should check out Union for yourself. Come for a visit. I know you'll love it. At Union University, you'll be transformed.
Top Dog takes his place at the plate, struck out in the first inning, but is looking for his second plate appearance against Faro. Let's go in there for a called strike. Yesterday, Swanson had a sac fly, single in the second game. Was left stranded. Then in the first game, he had a double and a couple of strikeouts. So he looks to get his bat heated up for this series finale against Christian Brothers. Next one's going to be out towards left field. Dropping back is Facto. He's underneath it, and he's got it out there in left field. Swanson flies out for the first out of the inning. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to join us later this week. We'll be right back here on Tuesday, March 28th against the University of Arkansas at Monticello. We'll be playing here at 2 o'clock on Wednesday before taking on Lane College the next week at the ballpark at Jackson here in West Tennessee. Definitely looking forward to that one in a couple of weeks. Bulldogs having the weekend off to rest, get some practice in next weekend. Christian Brothers hoping for a break. They've played now today 7 games in 7 days. Very busy schedule for the Bucks. They ended their 5-game losing streak. They had those tough games against Wachita and Bethel. Bethel, they had a 9-run lead, blew it, lost by 3. They were able to hold on to their leads yesterday, snapped that losing streak, are now creating a different streak of their own. Played as Grant Ross. He flew out in the first inning. Hits it right to the left fielder once again, running over his Factal. Catches back-to-back fly ball. So Ross is now flown out to the left fielder both times in this game, and we're going to see Caden Cottrell. One of 2 hits for the Bulldogs in this game came in the second inning when Cottrell got the single, but was eventually left stranded. Cottrell's had a great game behind the plate so far, blocking a few that would have become wild pitches. Cottrell from the right side is going to pop that one up in the infield. Dropping back is going to be the shortstop Gossett. He's underneath it. It might be the center fielder. It is. Folks calls him off, and a 1-2-3 perfect inning here for Faro in the 4th. We go to the top of the 5th. Bulldogs still down by 5. Will Gossett, the shortstop, is going to kick off this inning here against Mitch Sisk. Mitch Sisk looking to replicate the inning he had in the 4th. In the 4th inning, of course, he had the pop-out, strikeout, fly-out combination. Fastest inning we have seen yet. We saw 7 combined hitters between both teams as Will Gossett takes the first one in there for a called strike. The freshman hitting 147 is now playing in his 12th game of the season. Takes a big swing through that one. Of course, having his 37th at-bat right now, scored 6 runs, 5 hits, 1 double, and an RBI on the season. He's walked 4 times and struck out 9 times. Mitch Sisk looking to make that 10. That's going to be hit up right in the middle. Good grab by Netterville. Throws it on the run. He got him. Umpire made a little delayed call there. Great grab by Grant Ross, the first baseman. But a wonderful play by Netterville behind the bag. Is able to get the first out of the inning. Back to the top of the lineup we go. The center fielder Jarrett Folks, who's already done some damage already today, has a walk came around to score. He's going to launch that one out towards left center. It's going to land. It's going to be at least 2 bases here. There's going to be a throw from Swanson, and he's just going to cut that one off. And that will be the second time that Folks has reached today. Folks with the double.
Now batting the pitcher number 24, Charlie Faro.
Faro, much like Mitch Sisk, has been able to hit as well as pitch in this game so far. In the first inning, he grounded out to third base, did the same thing in the second inning. Had a little deja vu for the second out in both innings. Then in the third inning, he had a single and was left stranded at second as he hits that one to Tanner Parmalee. It's going to get underneath the glove, go out towards left field. Swanson is going to grab it, throw it in, and it's going to set up a first and third situation as Faro sneaks it into left field. So a double by Folks, single by Faro is going to set up a first and third. Cottrell's going to come out, talk to his middle infielders what the situation's going to be. Have one out with Gossett. Brocado, their best hitter, comes up to the plate in this game. He has 2 walks and a single, came around to score in the first, was left stranded at first base in both the second and the third innings, has not faced Sisk since. And that's going to be a wild pitch and another run scored here. That is going to be credited to Mitch Sisk. Folks coming home. Faro advances to second. Brocado now has a runner in scoring position for him. The third base coach for the Bucks giving his clear and concise signals to both Faro and Brocado. Roll him up, double play removed. Sisk just going to take this one batter at a time here. Big swing and a miss there. 8-2 the score. Bulldogs now find themselves down by 6. They were in a pretty similar situation yesterday where they did come back from it. They were down 6-1, worked their way back, took the lead before dropping the second game. That's going to be hit out towards right field. Dropping back towards the track is Chavis. He's running out of room, and it's gone. Goodbye, home run. Brocado, he's got a 2-run shot in this one. Faro comes around to score. The Bucks are going crazy down there. A lot of the Bucks fans getting out their phones in celebration of Brocado's 7th home run on the season. He leads the team, and an opposite field shot gives the Bucks a 8-run lead. Well, the bases have been mopped, cleaned, dusted, and sent back to the buyer. And there's no one on base as Factow gets his place up to bat. Still only one out. Factow in this game had a single, was left stranded at third, struck out in the second inning and flew out in the third. That's going to be hit towards deep center. Dropping back is Davis. He's at the track and hauls it in with about 5 feet to spare.
Batting now number 17, Talia Alcon.
Pizer, the right fielder, reached on an error in the first inning, was left stranded before scoring in the third. He was the first run to score there. He led it off with a double and popped out in that weird collision play last inning where we saw the collision between Netterville and Swanson. Netterville playing more deeply towards the grass, closer to the bag significantly than Will Allen Smith. And that might get Pizer on the leg. It does. They're going to say that it hit him in the foot. And he's going to get a free bag.
Batting now number 12, Zoe Neal.
Casey's going to come talk to him, and we're going to have a pitching change. That's going to do it here for Mitch Sisk. He went 2 2/3 innings through 41 pitches, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout in the 16 batters that he faced. We'll have a pitching change here for you in just a few moments. Let's see McDaniel face the new pitcher. The new pitcher is going to be Eli Snelson, the 5'10", 175-pound sophomore out of Miles College in Hartselle, Alabama. He transferred from Miles College where he played one season of baseball. Played a season at Snead State Community College, prepped at Hartselle High School, played all 4 years of baseball there, led his team to a state championship. Right behind us, the girls softball team just walked it off to get the series sweep against the Lady Bucks. Great job, Lady Bulldogs. They got the win 8-7 on a bases loaded little dribbler, RBI fielder's choice, to get the win. They won all 3 games this weekend. Snelson this season has a 6.11 ERA. He's got 1 win, 1 loss. Started in 1 game early in the season on that opening weekend, and they have actually shifted him more toward a bullpen position. He's thrown 17 2/3 innings, giving up 13 runs on 14 hits this season. He's walked 17, struck out 13. 3 doubles, giving up 3 home runs in the 86 batters that he has faced this year. Pitched against Delta State last weekend, and he walked McDaniel. Brown will now be the 8th batter of the inning. Second time in this game where they've had at least 7 or more. The last game Eli pitched in, he faced Delta State, where the Bulldogs did end up losing the game. Had a good outing though, went 3 1/3 innings, only giving up 4 hits, 4 walks, struck out 1, gave up a home run in that one. But before that, it had been a couple weeks, so typically about a week or 2 between each of Eli's games. They brought him in the bullpen. Loads up, looks at the 2 guys he's got on base, goes home with it. Strike against Brown. Brown, the third baseman, has been all reliable today. He's had a pair of singles, came around to score both times in both the second and the third inning. He walked and was left stranded in the 4th inning, but has reached 3 of 3 times. He's 2 for 2 so far in this game. He's had a solid offensive bout in the last few games. Was hit by a pitch, came around to score. Walked yesterday in the second game. Then in the first game yesterday, he did walk in the 9th inning before getting busted for stealing. Snelson now from the stretch. He's got 2 outs that he inherited from Mitch Sisk. Of course, Gossett started off this inning, grounded out to the shortstop. Factow flew out earlier in the inning and rung him up. That's going to do it for Brown. Brown goes down on strikes, but not before Brocado can do his damage. He had a 2-run home run, added 3 runs to the board this inning. Bulldogs down by 8. It's 10-2. Here we go to the bottom of the 5th inning at Fesmeyer Field.
The most important benefit when you buy from Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way, peace of mind. Jones Chevrolet's warranty forever comes with every qualifying new and pre-owned vehicle. Powertrain coverage for as long as you own your vehicle. Find out more at Jones Chevrolet in Three-Way.
Leading off the bottom of the 5th inning, we have the third baseman, Tanner Parmalee. He's only had 1 plate appearance already in this game. He struck out in the 2nd inning. It was that weird situation where it looked like it hit him. He thought that he had a hit by pitch, took a moment with Coach Casey, checked out his wrist, made sure everything was okay, and they actually issued it as a foul ball off of the handle of the bat. So one of the disappointing moments earlier in this game for the Bulldogs. Tough break on that one, but Tanner looks to bounce back. He's had some great defensive plays over at third base already in this game as he showed bunt. It's an attempt to bring the infield in. Brown, of course, the third baseman, playing closer than anybody, and Parmalee is going to hit. Parmalee entered this game hitting .462, has 6 hits, 2 runs scored already this season. Parmalee launches that one out towards left field. Factow underneath it. He's got it. Parmalee flies out for the first one this inning. Next up we have Will Allen Smith, Jackson native, graduated from Trinity Christian Academy, and he fouls the first run in off of the hands. So far this season, his freshman year with the Bulldogs, he has played in 12 games, started 5 of them, has a .262 batting average, 4 runs on 5 hits, 19 at-bats on the season. He's hit 2 home runs in those 19 at-bats, very impressive, with 5 RBIs. In this game, he flew out to left field in his first plate appearance, and he's going to get a single off of that one as it's a line drive out towards center field. Folks is going to haul it in, and it's going to be a great hit to get things started here for Will Allen Smith. Bulldogs are really just trying to get things going one hit at a time. They've had no luck since the first inning. Of course, Sisk walked, and then the big triple by Chavies. Game-changing moment in the first inning where they took the lead, but it has quickly slipped away. The Bucks have put up 1 in the first inning, 3 in the second, 3 in the third. Sisk shut them down in the fourth, but they tacked on another 3 in the fifth. Bulldogs with 1 out finally have a runner on. Colby Davis is going to watch that one in there for a ball. Davis struck out looking in the first inning, getting his first opportunity in the leadoff spot so far this season. Transferred from the Marion Military Institute, had the triple yesterday. It was more of a reach on air, and that's going to be a hit and a run. Dropping back at center field is going to be Folks, and Will Allen Smith is going to make his way back to first. They had a hit and run situation worked out where Will Allen was going to take off either way, and Davis goes down before Sisk gets to hit. So it looks like they are going to move Sisk back into the DH role, as it is no longer eliminated. Even though Sisk's day on the mound is done, it's not at the plate. He has reached both times, reached on an error in the third inning, was left stranded at second, walked, and then came around to score. And that's going to be a hit on the left side, hauling it in his factal. It's going to move the runner over, and Sisk has his first hit of the day. He's now reached all 3 times. Will Allen Smith now going to second, and we have Chavies coming up to the plate. Chavies is going to hit from the left side once again. The switch hitting sophomore, Collierville. And the triple in the first inning, came around to score, was hit by a pitch in the third. He's going to have 2 runners on and look to get something started here in the 5th inning for the Bulldogs. That's going to be popped on the left side. Running over is going to be Brown, the third baseman. He thinks he's underneath it. He sees it in the sun, and he does, catching it in foul territory and ending the Bulldogs' 2-out rally. We go to the 6th. Bulldogs down by 8.
The BallGame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios. With over 750,000 views in 2022, we are where you need to advertise. Please subscribe to our Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel and join the other 4,000 subscribers watching local sports, including Union University, USJ, TCA, Jackson Christian, and Peabody. Our multi-camera broadcasts include slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. BallGame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios, the premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.
Eli Snelson regains his position on the mound, facing Tate Gentleman, the second baseman for the Bucks. Gentleman, batting in the 8th hole, is already on his 4th plate appearance. He walked in the second inning, had a single, was left stranded at third base in the 3rd inning, and flew out to left as he pops that one out towards center field. Running over is Colby Davis. He's going to get it just in time, calling off Carson Chavies, and Gentleman is retired.
Step left center field for the Bulldogs, number 13, Trey Frierson. Now batting on shortstop, number 2, Will Gossett.
Actually, instead of Colby Davis, that was Trey Frierson out in center field. They just made a defensive substitution. In the last inning, we'll see if Frierson takes over in the 1 spot for Davis. But Frierson has entered the game for the Bulldogs defensively. He started yesterday's game out in center field, wasn't able to do anything at the plate, made a couple great defensive grabs out in center field before Davis took over for the second game. As the bell tolls on the foul ball there by Gossett. Here's a delivery from Snelson. It's going to be a little dribbler. Eli's going to grab it, throw it over to first base. Guns it. Great grab there by Grant Ross for the second out of the inning. Snelson using his infield arm to put away Gossett.
Now batting center fielder number 14, Jared Fultz.
Back to the top of the lineup we go for his 5th plate appearance in 6 innings. We have Fultz. Fultz in the first inning flew out to center field. He walked in the second, came around to score, had a sacrifice fly for an RBI in the third. In the 5th inning, he had the scoring double. Fultz came into this game batting .254, had 27 runs, 29 hits. He added 1 more today to get 30. 5 doubles, a triple, and 18 RBIs in the leadoff spot. And he's going to put that one right in the gap. Chavy's running over in right field. He's going to grab it, haul it in the gap, out at the 385 window. 3 up, 3 down. Perfect inning, Eli Snelson. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning.
Are you looking for a Christian college or are starting the college search process? I want to take a second to tell you about my school, Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. Union is a private 4-year university known for its rigorous academics, Christ-centered community, and the success of its graduates. My favorite part about Union is the faculty. The professors here are so intentional about helping students grow not only academically, but also spiritually. You should check out Union for yourself. Come for a visit. I know you'll love it. At Union University, you'll be transformed.
We're going to see Trey Frierson get his first at-bat of the game. Of course, he came in as a defensive substitution out in center field. Frierson in the first game of this doubleheader yesterday went 0 for 2. He flew out in the 3rd inning yesterday and then had a walk. Was left stranded in the 5th inning, and then in the 7th inning he popped out to first base. Big swing and a miss there by Trey. Trey, one of the veterans on this team. 6'1", 190-pound senior out of Compiling Community College. Played baseball for a season there. Was named the President's List both years of junior college. Member of Phi Theta Kappa. Academic All-American player. Went to St. Joseph Catholic School in high school where he played baseball, basketball, and football all for 4 seasons. Well-rounded athlete. Led his team in baseball to a 2018 MHSAA 2A state title. Twice named first team All-State at shortstop and outfield. Selected to the All-Star game. Was named to the players to watch list for the state. In football, he was first team All-State player, wide receiver. Impressive amount of speed. We get to see him track down the balls in center field. And football, he was a wide receiver as he takes his free trip over to first base.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, the second baseman, number 33, Patrick Maxwell.
Patrick Maxwell getting his first plate appearance in the game. He came in to take over at second base. He's going to hit that one over the head of the third baseman, Brown. Frierson's going to make his way to third. He's going to show off the legs. No, he's going to run back. But Frierson now will hold up at second, and Maxwell has a single.
Now batting for Union, number 35, Jake Kale.
So Maxwell now on first. We're going to see the introduction of Jake Kale in this game. Freshman out of Sacred Heart here in Jackson, 6'1", 215-pound freshman. This season, Jake is having a good year at the plate. .333 average. He's played in 10 games, started 3 of them, has had 12 at-bats, 4 hits, 1 run, and a slugging percentage of .333. Lots of different substitutions here late in the game. We'll see who else continues to stay in the game. It does look like Cottrell is on deck. So Swanson comes out of the game for Maxwell. Netterville comes out of the game for Frierson. And Ross comes out of the game for Kale. Lots of defensive substitutions. The question last inning was, is Sisk allowed to hit? He started as a DH, and that's going to be in the gap out towards right field. Piser's going to run in. Jake Kale's going to have 1 RBI. The throw is going to go to third base, and Frierson comes home, and the Bulldogs have life here in some of their backups. So typically it's Netterville, Swanson, and Ross doing it, but today it's Frierson, Maxwell, and Kale. Jake Kale getting another hit, his 5th of the season. Maxwell now at second, Kale with the single, and we are back to our starters. And Caden Cottrell, he had a single in the second inning, and it looks like that's going to do it here for the starting pitcher, Faro. We're going to go possibly to the bullpen here. Faro has pitched 5 innings, 63 pitches, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and has only faced 21 batters. Well, actually, it might just be a meeting at the mound here. It doesn't really look like they're ready to go to the bullpen. They do have some action out there in right field, but the infield has not come in yet. Cottrell will be the batter. Lots of excitement to see some of these guys that typically spend most of the game on the bench getting some action. So they're going to rest Netterville. So Maxwell's going to go to second. Frierson out in center. We'll see where they put Jake Kale, possibly at first base for Ross. Bulldogs are down by 8 in the series finale. Might as well shake it up a little bit. Try a couple new guys. That's exactly what they're doing. See some guys warming up behind the dugout. Interesting to see that happening. And the Bulldogs have life, and some guys that we don't get to see have a lot of playing time. A couple of our fan favorites here. Caden Cottrell. See if he can keep things going. Still no outs. Started off with the walk by Frierson. Maxwell with the single. Kale with another single. And they're going to leave in Faro into this game. We'll see if that is a mistake or they're making the right decision. The first one is way out of reach. Bulldogs really trying to get the pitch count high of Faro. Struggled to do so in the 2nd through 5th innings, but the 6th inning they're starting to wear him down a little bit as that one's popped up on the right side, possibly towards the triangle, having a tough time to see it as Piser, but he is underneath it. He grabs it, and faking to go to third base is Maxwell. But Cottrell goes down on the fly ball to right. Now time for Tanner Parmalee to get his 3rd at-bat of the game. Parmalee struck out in the 2nd inning after getting hit on the wrist and then flew out to left field in the 5th inning. He's got 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position. T-Parm up to bat. Maxwell at second, Kale still at first. Maxwell with a huge lead that's going to be to the third baseman. They're going to throw 1, they're going to throw 2. It's going to be a 5-4-3 double play to end the inning. The Bulldogs get 1. Frierson comes home to score on the single by Kale, but the double play is going to end it.
The BallGame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios. With over 750,000 views in 2022, we are where you need to advertise. Please subscribe to our Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel and join the other 4,000 subscribers watching local sports, including Union University, USJ, TCA, Jackson Christian, and Peabody. Our multi-camera broadcasts include slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. BallGame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios, the premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.
First pitch from Snelson's going to be a little bit low. We're going to walk you through the defensive substitutions after we saw all of those pinch hitters. So out in left field we have Jake Kale. In center we have Frierson. In right field it looks like we have Carson Chavey still staying in the game. And that is going to be launched out towards left field. Kale is underneath it at the track. Hauls it in for the first out of the inning. So Frierson centers, Chavey's still in right, and we have Parmalee remaining at third base. Will Allen Smith is moving from second to shortstop. We're bringing in Patrick Maxwell at second base, and then Colby Davis, who was playing center field, is now moved to first base. Mercado, his 5th plate appearance of the game. He had the 2-run moonshot in the 5th inning, and that's going to be a little dribbler to third base. They're going to let it go foul. So Brocado in the first inning had a walk, came around to score. In the second inning he singled, was left stranded, walked in the third, And then, of course, had the 2-run blast in the 5th inning. The last scores of the game to put them up 10-2. It's now 10-3 here in Jackson. Pitch from Snelson. In the dirt. Dribbles away from Cottrell. Pitch from Eli. In there for a called strike. Snelson, one of the guys that's really active on Union's campus, engineering major. Really glad to settle his roots in, of course, spending some time at a few different schools before coming to Union. Another one's going to be popped out towards right field. Running in, it's going to be just foul out of the reach of Colby Davis, the first baseman. Like we were saying, Eli decided to lay his roots. Of course, he used his extra year of eligibility because of the COVID season and used his transfer year. So he knew that Union would be his long-term place. Very excited to come to a Christian school. Didn't know it was a Christian school until he came for a visit. Really loved the values, fell in love with the team, the campus, and Coach Casey. He said that when he was sick, Coach Casey was one of the people that was really there for him, was able to bring him food, medicine, just kind of told me about the influence of not only a great coach, but also a great man that Coach Casey has been to a lot of these players. They've been a really big fan of him and the impact that he's already had on this Bulldog baseball team. And going down on strikes is Brocado, the first time he was retired today. So Snelson is able to get him out of the game. He goes down. Snelson had a 1-2-3 inning in the 6th, looking to replicate that here in the 7th. Factow. Now the batter. In this game so far, he had a single, came around to third base in the 1st inning, and a big swing through that one. Left stranded at third base in the 1st inning, struck out, swinging in the 2nd, and then he is flown out to center and right in both the 3rd and the 5th innings. Delivery from Eli. It's going to be right back to him. Snelson grabs it up high. Throw over to first. Davis has got it. And it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning. His 2nd in a row for Eli Snelson. The Bulldogs are able to save what they have and go. Time to stretch here in Jackson. We go to the bottom of the 7th.
Are you looking for a Christian college or are starting the college search process? I want to take a second to tell you about my school, Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. Union is a private 4-year university known for its rigorous academics, Christ-centered community, and the success of its graduates. My favorite part about Union is the faculty. The professors here are so intentional about helping students grow not only academically, but also spiritually. You should check out Union for yourself. Come for a visit. I know you'll love it. At Union University, you'll be transformed.
After a shaky 6th inning, Faro is going to be in his 7th inning work. He's thrown 63 pitches, 6 hits, given up 3 runs, struck out 3, walked 2, and faced 26 batters. Will Allen Smith will be the next one he faces. Smith singled to center field in the 5th inning. Was left stranded at 2nd, and then popped out to left. He shows bunt. He's going to drop it. Perfect. Right in front of the pitcher. He bare hands it, throws it over to first, and just in time for the throw. Smith had a great run there, great attempt, exactly what he was supposed to do, but Faro was able to put him away. Colby Davis started the game in center field, made his way over to first base.
Number 11, Colby Davis.
And looks like we may have a conversation here. Make sure that Will Allen Smith is okay. I don't know if he hyperextended his leg or something. Coach Casey's going to come and grab him, make sure he makes his way back to the dugout okay. They're checking out his leg, it looks like. He's going to give Colby Davis an extra moment of rest before he steps up to the plate. 6 foot, 175-pound junior. transferred here this year from the Marion Military Institute. Played 2 years of baseball there. Hit .314 with a .442 slugging percentage, a .458 on base percentage. Had the move to third on the air yesterday. Threw the salute to the boys in the dugout. They all saluted him before he gave them the at ease. Fun celebration yesterday. Had 4 home runs last year. Off the field was also named to the Dean and Commandant's list. Earned a leadership award during his time at the Military Institute. So far this season, he's hitting .222. Played in 14 games, started 4 of them. His 18 at-bats, 4 hits, 4 runs. He's going to show bunt, pull back. Bulldogs realizing that they've been struggling at the plate when it comes to power, so they have shifted to attempting to get a lot more hits on little choppers, and we've seen him drop a few bunts. That's going to be hit to third baseman. He grabs it, Brown, throws it over to first. Great throw, great play, and an out. Davis is retired.
Now batting for Union number 39, Matthew Sereda.
Sereda will now be the designated hitter in replacement of Mitch Sisk. Mitch Sisk last hit in the 5th inning. To see Sereda in his first plate appearance of the game. Takes the first one, and it hits him. He's going to take a free bag, and we need to check on the catcher there. It looks like McDaniel is severely hurt behind the plate. The umpire, having absolutely no idea, is walking out to the pitcher. It looked like it went off of the leg and hit McDaniel. The Buck staff is going to come out, check on their catcher, make sure he's okay. McDaniel has had an unbelievable 3 games behind the plate. He's started every single game, completed all 3. Very impressive thing to do as a catcher. Lots of endurance, and we just really hope the best for him down there. They're going to check him out. So Sereda, a little bit more of the introduction there for Sereda. He just made his way over to first base, the 5'7", 180-pound freshman. Graduated from White House High School in White House, Tennessee. Prepped there and spent 4 years playing baseball. Was named first team Silver Slugger and was the salutatorian of his graduating class. Wants to be a math teacher after he graduates from baseball. Entering the game for Carson Chavies is Billy Beckham.
Now at the plate, the right fielder, number 10, Billy Beckham.
So Beckham did come on to play right field instead of Chavies. There's something I was wondering if that's what it was out there in right field. Indeed it is. Sereda leading off first. McDaniels is going to stay in the game. Glad to see that he is healthy. Beckham yesterday in the second game pitched an inning and 2/3 through 22 pitches. 1 hit, struck out once, faced 6 batters. And he's going to hit that one at third baseman. Great grab there by Brown. Throws it to second base. And he gets the third out of the inning. Play from the knees. Wonderful grab by the third baseman. We go to the 8th inning. Bulldogs down by 7. There's still plenty of time left for a comeback. We'll be right back with you. Eli Snelson has had a great game so far. He's retired 8 straight batters. And now he will face the right fielder Dalton Pizer, the junior, hitting .337. Played in 26 games, 95 at-bats, 32 hits. Second on the team in hits this season. 14 runs scored. So far in this game, Pizer has reached 3 times, once by a hit by pitch in the 5th inning, once on an error in the 1st. Now he did have the double in the 3rd inning where he did come around to score. So Beckham is now in right field. just outside. So we have Kale in left field, Frierson in center field, Beckham in right, Parmalee at third, Smith at shortstop, Maxwell at second, Colby Davis at first, and of course the pitcher, Snelson. We'll see if they are going to continue to lean on Faro to finish out this game. He's gone 7 innings already. Taking the count full here is Pizer. Delivery from the windup. That's going to be launched out towards right field. Dropping back is Beckham. It's going to be close to the track, making a leaping grab into the wall. Great catch there by Billy Beckham. Wonderful play on the warning track. Jumped a couple of feet and robs Pizer of an extra base hit. A lot of these guys that typically spend most of their time on the bench have been a huge impact already in this game. Of course, we saw the hits by Maxwell, Kale, and Frierson in the 6th inning. Great to see them getting some action both offensively and defensively in this game. Running over towards first is going to be Davis. He's run out of room, and he jumps over the tarp into the wall there. Does a little parkour action over the tarp back onto the field. Getting a second chance is going to be the catcher, McDaniel. McDaniel had that scary injury right behind the plate. Glad to see that everything is okay. We weren't sure if it hit his leg or his ankle, whatever happened there. He feels good enough to continue in the game. He has caught all 3 games. Very impressive thing to do behind the plate. Bulldogs have used a different catcher in every game of this series so far. McDaniel had the single already in the 3rd today. Came around to score. Had a walk in the 5th inning. Struck out in the 4th. And grounded out in the 1st inning. 1 for 3 today. He's going to face Snelson for the first time. And he's going to send a little dribbler right back to Eli. Eli grabs it and makes another bullet over to first. Great grab there by Colby Davis. And they got 2 down here in the 8th inning. It's 10 straight batters retired by Snelson. The 3rd baseman, Seth Brown, gets his chance at the junior or the sophomore transfer. Delivery from Snelson. In there, called strike 1. Caden Cottrell has had a great game defensively behind the plate. Of course, there's 1 or 2 wild pitches. There's not much you can do as a catcher when it is that far off of the plate. But he has done a well-rounded job. Great job at the plate, too, offensively. And down goes number 11. Snelson retires 11 in a row with the strikeout to Brown. And we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Bulldogs look to climb their way back down 7.
We realize you have a busy lifestyle. And at the Bank of Jackson, we're here to help you fulfill all of your financial needs, personal and business loans, mortgages, online banking and bill pay, and so much more. Serving the Jackson area for 25 years. The Bank of Jackson, your down-home community bank. You belong here. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
The trust remains in Faro for the Bucks as Trey Frierson is going to lead off here. Bottom of the 8th inning. Frierson walked and came around to score on the single by Kale in the 6th inning. In relief of center field. He's going to put that one out towards center field once again. He's got a single, and Frierson's bat stays hot this afternoon. Turns things around here. The Bulldogs look to get their way back into this game. First 2 games of the series are a lot closer. Of course, Poindexter threw the absolute gem yesterday in the first game, threw a complete game, but really struggled to get run support. The Bulldogs thought that they could mount a comeback in the bottom of the 9th. Mitch Sisk had the single, but then a game-ending double play took place where Blake Barrett hit into a 6-4-3 double play to end the game. The second game was also a close one. Definitely a lot more runs put up on the board in that one, but it was still close back and forth. Now this game has just been a blowout so far by the Bucks. Bulldogs still not giving up hope yet. Maxwell is the batter. Frierson on first. He's taking off running. He's going to steal. Here's the throw. Not going to be there in time. Frierson has it by about 2 feet. And it looks like possibly, looked like Gentleman almost got hurt on that one, but he is okay. Just did a little tuck and roll action. Frierson rips off a bag there, removing the force out, and Maxwell has a chance to do it again. He had a single in the 6th inning, which moved over Frierson. See if Maxwell can get the bat going once again here. This big swing through that one. Maxwell out of Arlington, Tennessee. Went to Arlington High School, played all 4 years of baseball there, won the state title at the junior varsity level. It was a perfect game, All-American, state ranked. Made several all-tournament appearances, and Brown is going to have his first error. Frierson's going to come home. It's going to go out towards left field. Going to second is Maxwell. There's going to be a throw at second base. He's in safe. Frierson is safe. The Bulldogs score 1. Maxwell has an RBI on the error, and the Bulldogs put up 1 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Frierson takes the stolen base. Big moment. Brown has been lights out defensively. He had the error in the first game yesterday of the doubleheader, but since then has really locked things down. He has been an absolute vacuum there in the third base corner, and that one just slipped past him. He didn't get in front of it. He came over with the glove side, tried to get it with a backhand, and it slipped all the way into left field. Orfacto had to rein it in. Still no outs, and we get to see Jake Cale in his second plate appearance. He had the single that scored Frierson in the 6th inning, and he's looking to do the same thing again with a runner in scoring position. That's Maxwell at second. Playing close to the bag is Gossett, the shortstop. And we're going to continue to see the Bucks put their trust in Faro. There is a little bit of action in the bullpen. We don't expect them to go to that unless this game does get really close. Pitch count so far for Faro is only 78. Very impressive to only be at 78 pitches here in the 8th inning. Cale's going to take that one in there for a called strike 2. Jake Cale growing up right down the road. Played 4 years of football, 4 years of basketball. Still supports his brother, who is currently still at Sacred Heart. Hitting .333 on the season, 4 hits. He made that 5, and that's going to be hit to the second baseman, and that's going to be a bobble out towards right field. Gentleman was really hesitating on that one. Coming home to the plate is Maxwell, and the Bulldogs plate 2 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Coach Casey's fired up, and the guys are excited that some of these backup players are doing more than the starters in this one. So Maxwell comes all the way home on that. Cale gets to first base on the error. Gentleman looked like he did a little shuffle step. No idea what he was doing there at second base. He didn't get in front of it, and we may have a pitching change. Yes, we do. They have said that that is enough for Faro. But the Bulldogs have cut the lead in half here. It is 10-5 ball game. They're going to meet with Cottrell, get a game plan, and we're going to have our first pitching change of the game for Christian Brothers. We'll be right back with you in just a few brief moments.
The BallGame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios. With over 750,000 views in 2022, we are where you need to advertise. Please subscribe to our Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel and join the other 4,000 subscribers watching local sports, including Union University, USJ, TCA, Jackson Christian, and Peabody. Our multi-camera broadcasts include slow-motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. BallGame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios, the premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.
Go to our first call of the bullpen for the Bucks in this game. That is it for Charlie Faro. He threw 7 innings, 81 pitches, 8 hits, 5 runs, given up 2 walks, and struck out 3. As we see the return of Jacob Sitton, the freshman out of Milan, Tennessee, so far this season. He has an ERA of 11.57. He is 0-5 this season. He started 3 games, has appeared in 10, 23 and a third innings pitched, giving up 37 hits, 39 runs. It's interesting to see him come into this game. He started the second game yesterday, and the Bulldogs lit him up in the first inning. He threw 26 pitches in the first inning, and there's going to be a hit out into the gap towards left field. Rounding second is going to be Jake Cale. He's going to hold up, and another hit before an out is recorded is Caden Cottrell. Caden Cottrell gets a single, and we're going to see Tanner Parmalee now get his attempt at the plate. It all started with Trey Frierson, who stole a base after his single came around to score. Patrick Maxwell reached on the error and scored. Jake Cale also had the single. And then, of course, we had the single here by Cottrell. Parmalee in this game. Had a strikeout, hit in the double play, and that's going to be hit out towards left field. Tagging up is going to be Kale. No, it's just going to be a fly ball out as Parmalee continues to pound it out towards left field. But that's only the first out of the inning. We see Will Allen Smith get his first plate appearance. But like I was saying, Jacob Sitton got lit up yesterday by the Bulldogs. He gave up 2 runs, 3 hits in the first inning. They pulled him for Denman, who came and ended up giving up 4 hits. But interesting to see them turn it back over to Sitton, who's really struggled this year. Give him more opportunities after his game yesterday. Will Allen Smith, the batter, he has flown out to left field in the second inning, had the single, went to score, and it's going to be a hit-and-run situation as Will Al was reaching for that one, knew the runners were going to be going. Attempt of a double steal there by Kale and Cottrell. So Will Al, no matter what you do as a batter, you got to make contact, got to get the hit down, no matter where it is. So even though that ball was way out of the strike zone, Will Al did the job, was able to foul it off, not what he wanted in the hit. But they're going to try to get a couple guys home here in Cottrell and Kale. We'll see if they try it again, or if Sitton just tries to tank one knowing that he's going to get away from him. Will Al jumping out of the way, he kind of wishes he stayed in there for that one. They're looking to Coach Casey for their sign, possibly another hit-and-run situation with the 1-1 count. Sitton really tanking that one, knowing not to give Will Al anything close. A couple extra steps there by Kale. The runners are going. It is a hit-and-run, and he doesn't lay it down. And Will Al is not able to complete the task. The number 1 rule as a hitter in a hit-and-run, you got to hit the ball. So Kale is thrown out over at third base. He is caught stealing. Moving over to second is Cottrell, but a tough situation on an attempted hit and run. We'll let Will Allen Smith finish out the rest of the at-bat here. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Smith, down goes Kale, and down goes the Bulldogs 2-out rally. We go to the top of the 9th. Bulldogs down by 5.
Are you looking for a Christian college or starting the college search process? I want to take a second to tell you about my school, Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. Union is a private 4-year university known for its rigorous academics, Christ-centered community, and the success of its graduates. My favorite part about Union is the faculty. The professors here are so intentional about helping students grow not only academically, but also spiritually. You should check out Union for yourself. Come for a visit. I know you'll love it. At Union University, you'll be transformed.
Tate Gentleman is going to start off this 9th inning here. We have Gentleman, Gossett, and Folks up for the Bucks here in the top of the 9th. Off-speed pitch there by Eli Snelson, who remains on for another inning of work. Hoping to close out the game here for the Bulldogs. They're going to need a really big rally here in the bottom of the 9th. The girls were able to walk it off both yesterday and today. That's popped up in the infield by Gentleman, and running underneath it is going to be the shortstop Smith, and he hauls it in for the first out. We're getting to see some clouds come over the field. This is the first time in the game we've seen that. It's been a beautiful blue sky the rest of the game. Cloud cover here late in the afternoon. We're at about the 2.5 hour mark in this game. Next up we have Will Gossett, the freshman, hitting 147, 34 at-bats in this game. He has had 5 at-bats already. Well, this will be his 5th at-bat. In the second inning, he had a sacrifice bunt, was able to move his runners over, flew out in the 3rd inning before grounding out in both the 5th and the 6th inning. Here is the delivery to him. Big swing and a miss. Snelson calling off his catcher. Not a big fan of it. He's going to go home with it. Off of the leg there of Gossett. One, two, the count here. Here's a delivery from Snelson. And It's going to be just a little bit outside. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Currently, the stat report for the game is that the Bucks have 10 runs on 11 hits, 3 errors, 35 at-bats, 6 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Bulldogs currently have 5 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. They have 5 ribbies, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Full count to him. Here's the money pitch delivery from Snelson, and he just beans him in the back of the shoulder. Free base given up to Gossett. Looks like we may have a pitching change here to end the game. Eli Snelson very clearly frustrated with the full count. Coach Casey is hustling out to get that ball from him. One of the fastest I've seen him move there. And it looks like we are going to have a pitching change here late in the game, possibly. We see one guy warming up out in the left field bullpen. They're going to talk to him as an infield. But we'll see what they end up doing. They haven't made the call yet to the bullpen. Looks like Dylan Thomas out there warming up. Casey clearly fired up there on the mound. He's going to leave his boys in. So he's going to give him a chance. Leave him in as we go back to the top of the CBU lineup in Fulks. Fulks has a double and a walk, scored twice, and another sacrifice fly. Fulks in this game batting 1 for 3, has 1 RBI and a walk. Big lead over there by Gossett. Snelson's going to need to keep it down low in the zone. Parmalee playing close to the infield grass, ready to throw something. Of course, Maxwell and Smith playing closer to the bag. That's going to be right down the middle for the first strike. Nelson over the pickoff. Looks over, throwing from the stretch here. Davis, the first baseman, in the lead, and that's going to be popped up right on the edge of the infield. Middle infielder's running in. Frierson, the center fielder, is going to call it off, and he's going to take it away from it. There's 4 of them. He's going to try to go for the double play. Gets thrown away. Grabbing it is Cottrell. He's going to throw it to second base. No, he's going to hold it and eat it, as Davis, the first baseman, was not able to haul in the bad throw from center field. They try to get a double play as Gossett took off running to second, but Fulks goes down and moves over to second now with Gossett.
Now batting the DH number 24, Charlie Faro.
So Charlie Faro, who has exited the game as the pitcher, is going to remain in as the designated hitter in this game. He has a pair of singles, came around to score in the 5th, grounded out twice, and a fly out in the 7th inning. He had a really great game behind the mound. Of course, credited to him. Gave up the 5 runs. The run that Sitton gave up was still credited to Faro because it was an inherited base runner. That one's going to be a little bit out of Snelson's control. Slipped away from him there. Bulldogs really just trying to get out of this one, get to the bottom of the 9th, see if they can put up a few runs, but not let the problem continue to leak. And that's going to be hit out towards left field. That's going to be at least a double here. Well, possibly just a single. Yes, he is going to go 2. 1 run's going to score. Here's the throw to second. Safe. He gets there just in time. Faro has once again another extra base hit. Gossett comes home to score, and the balloon continues to deflate here in Jackson.
Now batting the first baseman number 9, Ben Mercado.
Mercado, the batter, hit in the 3-hole. He has 2 walks in the game. He's scored twice. He has reached 4 out of the 5 times. Snelson was the only one to retire him. He struck him out in the 7th inning. But it was really the 5th inning 2-run bomb that was the seal the deal moment here for Christian Brothers in this game. He hit that foul ball all the way to the parking lot over by the field house towards our soccer fields. Snelson winding back up here. Checks his runner back there in Faro. He's going to go home with it. Faro is leading off about halfway to third base. Would be interesting to see if Cottrell could gun him going back, something we definitely think that Ben Smith would do. Maybe even Canyon Pace with the aggressive arms that they have behind the plate. Big swing and a miss there. Great pitch delivery, low and away. Fastball snuck right by Bricado. Hear the cleats of Jack Rasmussen heading back to the dugout on that one after retrieving that foul ball. That's going to be in the dirt and away from Cottrell. Sun's still shining, lots of chatter out there during this game. Here's the pitch from Snelson. He's going to be fouled off right back into the pole, holding up the netting. Still a lot of fans sticking around for the end of this one. Bulldogs had a little bit of life last inning. Got to see a great attendance out here at Fesmeyer Field yesterday. Of course, the Lady Bulldogs getting back-to-back walk-off wins both yesterday and today. Fans behind us very thrilled. A lot of them came over, a lot of the softball players came over to watch the end of this one here on the baseball side of things today. Here's the pitch from Snelson. Fouled off again. It's going to be towards the cars on the other side, actually, towards the parking lot. It rolls under an SUV in the parking lot of the field house. Christian Brothers dugout loudly staying in each and every one of these at-bats. The Bulldogs are going to send one of their relief guys to have to jump the fence. That's going to be hit out towards right field. Beckham's underneath it. He's got it. We go to the bottom of the ninth here in Jackson. We'll be right back with you. Bulldogs down by 6. We are back to the top of the Bulldog lineup to end out this game. Here in the bottom of the ninth, Bulldogs find themselves down by 6. Sitton is going to remain on as the pitcher. We got the 1, 2, and 3 holes up for the Bulldog. Currently, we have Colby Davis leading off here. He struck out in the first inning, grounded out in the third, in the 7th, and flew out in the 5th. We'll see if they continue with the lineup they had last time, which was Sereda up next and Beckham in the hole. Colby Davis looking for his first trip to first base in this game. Brown's going to field it at third, throws it over to first, skies it. Coming down with it is a good play by Brocado, and Davis hits into a ground ball out at third base for the 3rd time today. Matthew Sereda will come on here, and Coach Casey's going to have a conversation with the umpire, possibly. Substitution. Not sure totally what that one is about there. We're going to see Matthew Sereda hit once again. Sereda came in and grounded out to third base in the 7th inning. And here's the first pitch he receives from Sitton. In there for a called strike 1. It's going to be a little dribbler back into the netting. Sereda is a freshman this year. He's played in 2 games. Hasn't gotten a hit yet. Looking for his first collegiate hit. He has scored 1 run after he walked, and he swings right through that one. He's played 2 games, one against Young Harris on February 5th, one against Harding on March 7th. It was that game against Young Harris that he had that one at-bat. Check swing on that one. They're going to go to the umpire, say he did not go. He gets another chance here on the check swing. Always a dangerous thing. Does he commit? Does he not commit? Serrata's going to get another chance at the plate with a 1-2 count here. Here's a delivery from Sitton. It's going to be hit out towards center field. Running in his Fulks, it's going to be shallow and retired. Bulldogs now down to their final breath of this game. It's going to come down to Billy Beckham. Old BB10 here, getting his first at-bat since the 7th inning. He ended that inning earlier this game, takes that one in on the shoulders. Of course, we got to see him pitch like we talked about earlier in the game yesterday. Getting some action out in the right field today. That's going to be popped up on the right side. Running over is going to be Brocado. Running out of room will be Brocado. Delivery from Sitton. He's going to in on the hands. Almost got a piece of him. I'm going to say it didn't hit him, but Trey Frierson was ready to take his at-bat. Beckham took that one in on the wrist. It's going to hit the catcher again, McDaniel. They're going to come and check on his hand for the 2nd time in this game. Of course, he got hurt about an inning and a half ago. The athletic trainer from CBU is going to come check him out, rub some dirt in it. He's going to be okay. Here's the 1-2 count to Beckham. Checks his swing. Goes to the umpire, says no, he did not go. Risky move there. Would have hated to see the game end on a check swing, but Beckham gets another chance. So here's the pitch. 2-2. 2 strikes, 2 outs. Swing and a miss. The Bulldogs drop this one 11-5 here in Jackson. Here is the final results from the game. 11 runs on 12 hits, 3 errors for Christian Brothers. The winning pitcher is going to be Farrow. And Union had 5 runs, 9 hits, and 2 errors. Of course, they struck out 5 times compared to the strikeouts 5 times by Christian Brothers. Thank you guys for joining us this weekend. Always wish for a little bit better results, but you have another chance to join us again on Tuesday. Don't forget, at 2 o'clock, we'll be right back here on UU Athletics. And a big thank you to everybody from Worthy Road that joined us today and from Bulldog Baseball. Go to uuathletics.com for more information. We'll be playing the University of Arkansas at Monticello on Tuesday at 2 p.m. right here at the Fez. I'm Ethan Voss. Have a great rest of your afternoon and weekend. Thanks for joining us, and go Bulldogs. Good night.